Loading into game 2 between Team WANOA and Team BBBBB. Game 1 went over to Team BBBBB, who is playing on the red side this time. Malphite in top lane, Rengar, Yone, Misfortune, and Amumu. Blue side we have Rock and Roll Pew Pew playing the Mordekaiser. We have Wukong for jungle, Unknown on his signature Jaden, Noobadoom on Twitch, and Sev is a noob on support Thresh. So far, a pretty standard opening coming in from both sides, just making sure there's no invades coming in on either side. And Rengar appears to be placing a ward and will start on the bottom side of the map. Wukong will also start on the bottom side of the map, it looks like. Looking at team compositions, Team BBBBB has gone for a very strong team fight comp, of course, with the Misfortune Amumu bot lane combo. And a little bit of overkill with the Malphite as well, but very initiate heavy. We got the Rengar and the Yone as well, who can also go in for an engaging. Rengar is a little bit unusual of a pick here, considering he's more of a single target pick champion rather than a team fight AoE style. But he will help snowball this early game if he can get some early ganks off. For Team WANOA, we have a bit more of a balanced team comp. A lot of AD damage, however, AP damage being solely on the Mordekaiser. Of course, Twitch does have a little bit, but unless he's going to AP Twitch, it really shouldn't be much there. And a really early engage coming in from Bryson did land the Q onto Noobadoom. However, the hook from Thresh will land. The second Q will land as well, but he's taking a lot of damage now, forced to heal. But of course, Sev as a noob did heal as well. So a heal for heal trade in the bot lane. Of course, exhaust was also expended by Twitch. So we have an ignite advantage for Team BBBBB. And mid lane should be a very interesting matchup. Sword Brothers going up against each other. In general, we have just a lot more utility from the Yone, of course, but Yasuo, if he can get ahead, can be really a big threat as well. A lot of ultimates or knockups to work off of from the Thresh, the Wukong, as well as the Mordekaiser pull. Top lane, we'll have to see if Malphite goes for the AP build or not, because he is going into Mordekaiser, of course, so the armor build isn't going to be as much value. Of course, he can still go it for the late game, considering how much AD damage Team WANOA has, but in terms of laning, it's not going to give him too much value, so might choose to go a little bit more AP heavy instead. Has gone for the Arcane Comet. And so far, no early aggression from either jungler. However, Yone goes in at level 3, Soul Unbound, to get a pretty favorable trade against the Yasuo, who does need a little bit more time to get scaling. Both sides having taken lethal tempo ignite. So we'll be looking for some sort of level 6 engage. And now Wukong's going to go in on the Yone, but he did have his Q3, so does manage to get away. And the ward was placed just a split second too late. And now Big Palm ganking Rock and Roll here will force out the early flash. The Bola did slow him just enough to force that ability out of him. Malphite, of course, doesn't have too much damage early, so he might have been able to just hold on to the flash, but didn't want to risk it. Rengar now taking the top side, or actually it looks like the top side scuttle was already taken, so Hanki gonna get double scuttle start. And now with Rengar backing him up, Yone goes in, but he just runs into the Wukong from the bush there, and barely will not get CJ flash. Will flash for flash, and the ignite was ticking as well, so will respect it. And now a flash forward from Hangi. Will they be able to pick it up? And yes, they do. The E forward, and now the shield has been popped, so is gonna eat some of the ignite damage. The last mini shot will not be enough, but the Rengar should be able to catch up to him. The flash forward will guarantee it. So the E cooldown must have been a little bit too high. Of course, the W should have killed as well. So the flash being expended. Now Rock and Roll does not have his flash. He's actually going to just straight up die to a Malphite. Very unusual. But of course there was a large wave that was stacked, so should not have taken any kind of trade there. Now Rengar's going to get the bush. Will jump up. The empowered E, the second E is there as well. And now the kill will be handed over to Misfortune, who now has a blue buff early on. A huge advantage for Team BBBBB. And again, with the Amumu Misfortune combo, they might even choose to go for an early dragon here. It is the Cloud, does a lot of DPS early on, but we'll have to see if they choose for it. Darren, Rock and Roll Pew Pew rather, has been able to use the teleport to get back to lane, so we'll take most of the wave. And now he actually might just be able to take down this Malphite, who was a level ahead, but did have no mana and low health, so he has to force the flash away. So a small victory there for Rock and Roll Pew Pew. And now so far we are 5 minutes and 40 seconds into the game with kill lead for Team BBBBB. And a nice predicted Q will land from Yasuo, but he is not level 6 just yet. And another engage from in the bot lane. The Wukong Invis does engage onto Bryson. He will be the first to fall. Will he be able to pick up the Twitch? No, he does not. Honky the one to take the kill. This game's going to be a lot of invisibility, so a lot of catch potential for both sides. We have the Rengar, Twitch, and the Wukong, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. The deep wards are going to come really handy in this kind of a matchup. And the hook will land from 7, and we'll throw back the Lantern, but Nubadoom will not take it, is respecting the damage from the Misfortune. Blow for blow, tries to drop aggro as he goes into bush in the mid lane. CJ Flash is going to land a 2-man ultimate onto both the Wukong and the Yasuo. Yasuo now has his Q3 loaded up. Will he be able to use it? We'll throw it out, but another Q3 coming in from the Yone, and we'll be able to get away. So the kills have now been evened up with that nice gank in the bot lane. We have a 3-for-3 situation. Gold dead even as well, so both sides doing quite well. Just to take a look at some of the items, looks like it will be a Sheen start, so Frozen Gauntlet going to be the item of choice for this Malphite. Rengar going for the Lethality Burst build. We'll have to see what Wukong decides to go for. It looks like some sort of Phage item. In the mid lane, we have tier 2 boots already finished for the Yasuo, who does need a little bit more mobility to get on top of the Yone. And the recurve bow, item of choice for Yone. Tier 2 boots completed for the Twitch as well, and the Dirk, another lethality build coming in for the Misfortune. Looks like he'll be going for that full lethality burst style of play. And Thresh has picked up the Moby boots early, so may look to roam quite early. Now, vision setup is starting to happen for Team BBBBB. It might be a dragon control play so far, but Rengar is on the top side of the map. We'll be taking that next Scuttle Crab on top side, and he will potentially be looking for a gank in the top lane, but the wave is pushing in to Rock and Roll, so there might not be an option there. Wukong also on the top side of the map, finishing up his wolves. It looks like Rengar will just back away. His buffs have come up. Might want to clear those out and hit level 6 before this next dragon fight. Yasuo looking for a little bit of a roam here. Heads towards the bot. Might be just placing a ward on the blue. Yes, he does. He does check that Rengar has not started it. And considering Rengar did start at the bottom side of the map, they should know that he is on the top side. Malphite looking for a bit of a roam now as well. Wukong now finishing up his blue buff. And actually, he'll just place the pink ward and back away, looking for some control over the Herald possibly. Q3 will land, as well as the ultimate from CJ Flash goes straight onto the Yasuo. He does have a Q3 of his own, will ultimate. Ignites protecting for both sides. However, Rengar is here to support his mid laner. And the Yasuo will fall. And Rengar able to utilize that ultimate. As soon as he hit it, Wukong, of course, was going for the full clear on the other side, so not quite able to support. The initial engage from CJ was really good, able to chain his Q3 with his ultimate, and had taken down Yasuo to half health before Yasuo was even able to respond, so a nice engage there. Of course, it might have still been a little dicey if Rengar wasn't there to support, so very nicely done from the jungler. And with this gold lead that Yone has just taken for himself, has completed tier 2 boots as well as a Cloak of Agility as his next buy, so has a decent amount of damage here. And we'll have to see if they decide to go for this next dragon, where they do have some vision, but there is a pink ward in the area as well. Bryson hoping to catch out any of the rotations, but he is sitting on the ward. Yasuo and Wukong have joined as well, so Team WANOA already setting up, and they should be able to catch out this Rengar, who was not aware that he was about to just get jumped on by 2 members, but the turnaround engage from the Amumu will land a decent ultimate, but now Rengar has to run CJ Flash by himself, but will pick up Honky before he goes down as well. The Misfortune ultimate was there to cover, but it was just a bit too late. So in the end, it is going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Team WANOA. A nice turnaround. Sev is a noob with those Moby boots paying off, was able to join the fight just in time. And although Bryson was able to land a nice ultimate to start off that re-engage, it's not quite enough. Flash expended by both mid laners. Now the first dragon, the Cloud, has gone over to Team WANOA, and the next dragon will be the Hex Tech, spawning just under 5 minutes. 5 kills to 5. Once again, the gold is dead even. Pretty much even all across the board, except of course that first dragon being taken. Not too good of a dragon, especially as the first one. It doesn't really give too much of an advantage, but we'll have to see if they can make any use out of it. Now the Empowered E will land from the Rengar. He'll head toward the bush to get that jump. However, Mordekaiser did take the Malphite into the ult zone, but the ultimate turnaround will be enough to pick him up. A Flash Flay from Sev, not able to quite land it. However, a Flash Force from Misfortune, so a small advantage against the immobile ADC. Should be pretty happy with that. It is worth noting that there hasn't been any Twitch roams or Thresh roams, despite that being their event. In the mid lane, we have Honky going onto Yone. Q3 will not land from Unknown. Looking for something a little aggressive there. Wukong did have his ultimate ready, but does not choose to use it. Because Wukong was spotted on the bot river now, that will prompt Big Palm to start up that Herald, and will pick it up. Yasuo here to try to do something about it, but will get scared away. Now it's a 3 versus 1. He's completely caught off guard. He will land an ultimate, and Yone ult will completely whiff. Is he going to be able to buy enough time for Wukong? And the Mordekaiser will land another knockup. Now, CJ Flash needs to be a little bit careful, but actually, they are able to pick up the Yasuo before he goes down, so it's going to end up being a 1-for-1, and the Herald in favor of Team BBBBB. Also doing a very nice job buying as much time as possible, able to land a decent knockup and able to dodge. And now the Twitch does not care. He will eat the entirety of Misfortune's ultimate, but did have the exhaust, so able to take down a nice solo kill there onto the Misfortune, who stayed a little bit too long. And the kills remain the same, 7-7. A small gold advantage now in favor of Team BBBB. Now the ultimate has been popped by Rengar, and the flash over the wall by Bryson to try to close the gap. Is he going to be able to land this Q? No. The body block from the Thresh, he's going to heal. However, the Rengar is going to be able to solo out the Twitch, who did not have exhaust or ultimate because he just used it on Misfortune. Now the re-engage from Honky. Ultimate will land on both of them by Bryson, but he shouldn't be able to survive for much longer here. Throws out another Q, and the kill will go over to Honky. And so the Twitch's death is answered by getting Bryson there. And this game is really going just back and forth. Overall, very even on both sides. So if it just continues to scale in this way, it'll really come down to who picks up more of these dragons. But as I mentioned before, Amumu Misfortune is a very powerful composition when it comes to dragons. And so, although Team WANOA has a very strong wombo combo of their own with the Twitch, being able to just spray and pray whatever the Yasuo and the monkey decides to kind of combo their ultimates together, they will have to be careful they don't get flanked by this Rengar or this Malphite, of course. Always Firewall known to flank with his Malphite, especially with the full tank build, can be very hard for AD comps to deal with, such as this Yasuo, Twitch, and Wukong. Overall, the kills are similar, but the CS is very close as well. So again, a very dead even game for both sides. Youmuu's has been completed for Rengar, not quite a mythic for Wukong just yet. And Kraken Slayer is going to be the first item of choice for Yone, and Frozen Fist has been completed for the Malphite as well. Youmuu's item of choice for Misfortune as well. So once again, very lethality heavy team, and Kraken completed for the Twitch. Now Wukong looking to gank in the mid lane, but the Q3 will be perfect. And Wukong will not be able to ultimate, he will be CC'd up, but it looks like Yasuo wanted to go home anyway, so it won't matter. Now it looks like they're setting up for a Malphite gank here. The Q will land onto Sev. He's going to land a Q onto Miss Fortune as well, but now it's a 3 versus 2. Malphite's holding the R, knows that Twitch is nearby, but Twitch needs to respect the Malphite and just will watch his support die, unable to do anything there. Although Sev was able to land a Q onto the Miss Fortune, will not be enough to get away. Just now realizing the bot lane for Team WANOA is a double noob bot, so hopefully that doesn't mean they're going to lose this lane. So far, it is really even, and Twitch does scale nicely, but Twitch, there's two playstyles he can go for. He can go for cheeky stuff like this, or just look to scale. Is he going to go for something? He lands a nice two-man W. Miss Fortune actually flashes away, and the ultimate will line up perfectly but for both of them, so although the spray and pray was actually lining up nicely to hit both of them, it will not be enough DPS. The stun lock from Bryson just too strong, and Miss Fortune ultimate able to finish it off. Q will land from Unknown, but he will not go in onto this Yone, who has an item advantage. And a nice wind wall to block the Q3 from Yone. But just going for trades here, both sides not really engaging. Not knowing where Rengar is, of course, you need to be really careful. Now slowly the lead is starting to go in favor of Team BBBBB. About a 2,000 gold lead along with the 2 kills. The next dragon will be spawning in just over 4 minutes. Hex Tech being taken over by BBBBB. Looks like the first turret's going to be taken by Yone as well, so despite getting ganked a little bit more by the Wukong, because of that early Rengar gank, it looks like Yone able to consistently stay strong over his brother Yasuo. Now Yasuo has completed his first item as well, going to be the Kraken. Lots of mirror builds just going on all over the map. Double Yomus for red side, double Kraken for blue side. So itemizing should be relatively simple for both sides. The downside, of course, is that Team WANOA doesn't really have a true tank, whereas this Malphite will be going for the full tank build. A full armor, going to be a real threat, just ulting the backline, slowing everybody down. Randuin's, of course, is going to get a lot of value if he does go for that item. And Divine Sunder is going to be the item for Wukong, so it should help deal with the tanky units of Team BBBBB. Now this time around, it's going to be Hanki that looks for a lane gank in the bot lane. Has cleared the vision, and Sev is in the alcove here. Are they going to catch him out? The hook will go wide and it will not land. But Bryson definitely smelled something because he had his scanner out, and it did spot the Twitch in the bush. And when a unit is just sitting in the bush like that, you know they're looking for a sneaky engage, so they will back away. Wukong wasting a little bit of time, but we'll start right on over to his red buff. This first turret going down, being the mid lane, is going to be really problematic for Team WANOA here. Just not having mid prio just makes taking heralds and dragons that much more difficult. And now, once again, Hanki's engage completely negated by the Q3, well timed by CJ Flash, and the re-engage is here, and a 2-man ultimate will land. However, a 2-man ultimate for Jaden as well. And a huge turnaround. The Twitch has arrived. A flash forced by OS Firewall. Is he going to survive? No, the auto onto the turret is going to mean death for Nubadoom. But no one touched him, it looks like. It's going to be an execute, so mistakes coming from both sides, but truly unfortunate. I'm not sure if he was actually in range of the Malphite, but certainly autoing the turret was not the right play there. And so a really well-designed engage from both sides. Both Sword Brothers landing 2-man ultimates, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna end up being a 1-for-1, it looks like. Malphite just barely surviving, so fortunate, and of course his flash was expended, but that just goes to show just how tanky he is. Twitch having landed the huge spray and pray just was not enough. Now tier 1 turret, oh, another flash flame missed by 7. The hook is going to go wide as well, really unfortunate. Hopefully there isn't tilt going on here, and now Hanki's going to look to engage the top lane. He does not have his ultimate, does have red buff, but the slow is not going to really matter with the Malphite Q giving him that speed boost. We'll be able to get away from that situation. And the kill gap has been slightly closed by Team WANOA, but the gold lead is continuing to increase. Now Rengar is looking for the flank, has ultimate, and now Sev knows it's here. But Rengar will actually just look for a different kill. Is he going to jump onto this Twitch? It probably will not. Twitch, of course, under his turret, realizes that the Rengar is nearby and will respect it. And Rengar ultimate should just time out here. Wukong entering his own jungle is going to start up the Raptors, but Yone is here to catch them. It's going to be a 2 versus 1. We'll go over the wall, and the Yasuo ult will land onto the Yone because of the Wukong ultimate. Now the Rengar is alone in a 3 versus 1. The spray and pray will take him down. Actually, it'll be the Yasuo. And now the re-engage from Sev tries to slow down the Yone, but he will get away over the wall with Q3. So 1 for 0. It was a big commitment coming in from Team WANOA, able to kind of read the situation quickly. And was able to stop it. A nice Yasuo ult for max range as well. Now Sev will land a hook and will throw out the lantern. Chevy Man will get singled out here, and another kill will probably mean the dragon in 10 seconds. Both top laners are starting to rotate down. OS Firewall trying to slow down the wave pushing in the mid lane. And with 2 units still being dead for another few seconds here for Team BBBBB, the third dragon, which is the Infernal, will go over to Team WANOA. So nice comeback, and the gold lead still a little bit in favor of Team BBBBB, but they're going to be very happy with this dragon now. Rock and Roll a bit caught out by the Yone, but will be covered by Honky, so the Soul Unbound will be used to return to his body. Yone will now cover the bot lane as the bot lanes rotate to the mid. Rylai's the first item of choice for the Mordekaiser and choosing to go for the tanky build after that. Sunfire already completed for the Malphite. Curious that he didn't go for any kind of heal cut or straight up armor item. Instead decides to go for that passive damage. Prowler's Claw already completed for the Rengar, so he's going to be at a pretty decent spike here. Should be able to pretty much pop anybody he decides to solo. Infinity Edge completed for the Yasuo. A second item still not complete for the Yone, so Yasuo starting to catch up. Has picked up a lot of kills, actually. And Twitch is out a 2-item spike as well. Has completed the Runeance. So should be able to throw out a ton of damage as long as he's able to stay away from this Rengar and Malphite. Collector completed for Miss Fortune. A decent spike for her as well. Even Shroud for Amumu. And Locket completed for Thresh. The Locket's going to be really handy when it comes to this Misfortune poke. And just negating that full burst damage, because Team BBBBB, they don't really have that much DPS, actually. They rely a lot on their initial burst. And Twitch, of course, the king of DPS, so as long as they're able to survive that initial engage, or if they can navigate around that linear engage that Team BBBBB can throw out, they should be okay. A lot of immobile champions as well for Team BBBBB, so we'll have to see what they can do. Ideally, I would assume that it's the best case scenario is for the Mordekaiser to just ult away whoever's getting too much value with their ult. Now the exhaust is going to be thrown out onto Big Palm, and the just barely not able to survive. Seb throwing out every shield that he has, including the W and the Locket, but was not able to keep his ADC alive. And even with the exhaust, this Rengar, as mentioned, the 2-item spike is absolutely massive. Even had a Dirk there, so able to just one-shot the Twitch who was trying to survive. Now a 3 versus 1. CJ very deep in the enemy lane. Will get punished for that. And now with 3 members of Team BBBBB in the mid side, they are looking to rotate toward the Baron. And a flash forward from Hanky will land some of the slows there, but does not have ultimate anymore, and the Q3 will land for Unknown. So Chevy Man punished the exact same way. Now Darren was able to get max range ultimate onto OS Firewall, and he is under turret, and he's going to start taking some damage and will wisely hold his ultimate to get over the wall. However, Sev is here, throws the lantern back, and it'll be Honky who takes it, and a huge re-engage coming in from Nubadoom as well. There should just be 2 free kills, and that should be the prompt for Baron as well. So a very nice rotation coming in from Team WANOA. And Rengar is in the area, but is he going to be able to look for a steal here? Actually just backs away. So first Baron will go over to Team WANOA at 25 minutes. And the kill lead with them as well, and this should give them a strong gold advantage too. So it will look like a very promising situation for Team BBBBB. Oh, and the Q3 will land over the wall. Yasuo immediately re-engages as well, but he will end up going down. Wukong did throw out the ultimate, and Yasuo actually didn't ultimate. Was he CC locked or was it on cooldown? I wasn't able to catch that, but really unfortunate because the Wukong did land the knock-up onto him. So it might have been a little bit, he might have been able to survive for a bit longer, but in the end, it's a mid laner for mid laner. One Baron buff taken off Team WANOA. And the gold lead, just about 600 for Team WANOA. But as I was mentioning, the Team BBBBB, yes, they're the one that with Rengar on their team. However, they still can't just be disrespecting WANOA and walking that far deep. It was the Chevy Man and CJ getting caught out by themselves in lane, what prompted for the Baron buff or the Baron call to be made. And of course, OS Firewall was caught as well, but a nice positional advantage by Sev there, able to get his team right on top of him. But with Baron buff, Team WANOA will now have to make a call. Are they going to try to contest this next dragon that will put them on soul point for the Infernal? Or will they use this buff to continue to push out lanes? Sev will throw out a hook, but does not want to use it into the fog of war. And now a huge ultimate engage from all three members on Team BBBB. Unknown was able to land a decent ultimate. He is staying alive and now jumps onto Misfortune. She will go down, but so will he, and now it's a 2 versus 1. Will Rengar be able to pick up the Wukong? It looks like he was invis, so he was not able to. A flash forward, a flash expended by Big Palm as well, but he will go down, and a huge win goes over for Team WANOA. What looked like a really promising engage from Team BBBB. Bryson able to land a 3-man ultimate, and the immediate follow-up for the Malphite and the Misfortune ultimates as well. Umumu R was so good, but Yasuo able to survive with just a sliver of health, able to land a decent ultimate of his own, and went straight for Chevy Man and did manage to take them down before he lost his own life as well. But things are looking really good here for Team WANOA. The goal lead is definitely in their favor now, 3,000, and gonna be on soul point, and they're stacking the Infernals as well, so really favorable position for them. And the Infernal is just so good for Twitch, just able to throw out so much damage early on. And this Wukong isn't a slouch either. He's playing extremely well, does have enough damage in his own right. It looks like he's going to be going for the death stance. Should help him a lot against the 3 main damage dealers of Team BBBBB. Jock Show is completed for Rock and Roll Pew Pew, is working on the Wardens. And a Collector picked up for Rengar as well. So he is complete one-shot build. He's not going to be looking to team fight. If he tries, he's going to die. He needs to just look to pick off any member of Team WANOA, just as he did the Twitch earlier. He should be able to just one-shot any member of Team WANOA. It doesn't really matter who it is. As for the other members, Blade of the Rune King completed for Twitch, so he has some self-peel as well as some healing, but it really isn't going to matter against this Rengar if he happens to jump onto him. Same goes for the Misfortune. Misfortune looking to work on Cyrilda's or Lord Dominic's here, and Twitch will catch out the Misfortune to heal, and the hook will actually be the one to pick it off, and was not able to try to turn it around. Her ultimate was immediately canceled, and although Bryson was able to land a 2-man ultimate, the rest of Team WANOA is here. Another 2 unanswered kills goes over to Team WANOA. And although the Baron buff is gone, they should be able to just push out this midway and at least get tier 2 turret. Top lane just 2 bruisers going at it, blow for blow. Neither side really with an advantage here. The Jock Shows makes this Mordekaiser really, really tanky. Now, they're going to try to knock on this door. A 2 versus 4, but looks like OS Firewall is on the flank. Is he going to go mid? No, he decides to stay top. Does not want to give Rock and Roll too much turret damage here. And the next objective will be the Baron spawning in about 1 minute and 35 seconds. So both sides, especially Team WANOA, going to go home to spend their hard-earned gold and should be able to show up really strong. It looks like Cyrilda's was picked up by Misfortune. And Death stands the item of choice for Unknown as well. Rock and Roll choosing to stay top lane. Baron spawning in about a minute. Rengar is heading to the top side of the map, but actually it might just look to go mid lane here. Twitch is the one farming here. And Wukong was shown bot. Now this is where they're pinging Rock and Roll to be very careful. He is deep, and they know that Team BBBB can rotate really quickly. This Rengar, of course, can get there extremely fast. Misfortune, decent movement speed as well. Now, a full reset has come in for Team WANOA. It looks like they have been able to pick up a bit more items and components. Knight's Vow picked up for the Twitch by Sev here. Has the Zeeks as well. And not quite able to complete their items, Twitch, Yasuo, and Wukong. But strong components nonetheless. Hullbreaker now completed for the Yone. Yone not having too great of a game, has died quite a bit of times, but once this Hullbreaker comes in, he's going to be a side lane threat, continuing to push this bottom side. Of course, doesn't have teleport, but they need to respect it. He can take down these turrets really, really quickly. And because Yone is showing bot, they're going to do Baron on spawn, which spawned immediately just now. And now the rest of Team BBB are aware. They're going to send everyone there. Will Malphite be able to land the Wombo combo? Yone still not joining out. And they will actually just pick it up for free. Malphite going to look for an engage here, but realizes his team is not there. Rengar going straight for the backline. Is going to pick up Nubadoom immediately. Flash forward. The rest of the team now engaging. Yasuo gets immediately ulted as well. Unable to land his ultimate. The Q did not hit anybody there. And now it's going to get soloed out by the Malphite on the other side. Misfortune launches a huge ultimate. And although Bryson tried to flash away to survive, he's not going to make it. Now a 1 versus 1 by Rock and Roll into Chevy Man. Chevy Man is flashing inside the zone, has nowhere to run, will get taken down. However, on the bottom side of the map, Yone was able to take down one of the Nexus turrets, and Wukong has spawned. Is he going to be able to deal with this Hullbreaker? 3 versus 1, Malphite in the mid lane. And going to start working on that tier 2, and Yone does get away. So although Team WANOA was able to pick up the Baron, they were not able to stop Yone from taking at least one of the turrets as well as the inhibitor. So a relatively fair trade going for both sides. The team fight was a little bit skewed. However, the main thing there was that Twitch was immediately deleted by Rengar, and a huge shutdown has gone over to him. And Yasuo was not able to land an ultimate because he was immediately soloed out by the Malphite. Hunky going for a steal attempt there. Will ultimate. Will he actually turn back around to try to hit the lantern? No, he's not. He's actually going to just stay and try to do what damage he can. Twitch able to pick up a kill onto the Yone. It is a shutdown. Now Rengar has arrived. He's going to go straight. Oh, a huge play coming in from Sev as a noob. And the Q to land as well. A massive hero play coming in from Sev with a very questionable heal to follow. But oh my goodness, the Twitch was certainly dead if Rengar was able to jump onto him. But a flay into the immediate hook. Of course, the exhaust from Twitch as well. And with Baron buff and 2 members being down for another 30 seconds, are WANOA going to be able to take down this turret? Misfortune will throw off the ult. Actually, nobody was just going to die. And a re-engage from Bryson, and just like that, Team WANOA has completely thrown their lead. Really unfortunate. Their Baron buffs are now gone as well. Hunky has arrived to try to support Rock and Roll, but they're not going to be able to dive this. They don't have any ranged DPS. Neither of them can take down this this Malphite, who's an absolute raid boss. And realizing that, Hunky actually tries to go for Bryson, but he's quite tanky as well and will have to run. And they do hold some of their buffs, and Yasuo did get a decent push in the bot lane. And the Yone ult will not land. It's going to be a 1 for 1. Actually, it's not a 1 versus 1. Rengar has arrived, will ultimate to help CJ Flash pick up the kill. And a complete disaster for Team WANOA, super heartbreaking. They had the picks, they had the death timers. It was a 5 versus 3, but instead of playing it slow, they allow Chevy Man to just completely delete them. And sure, people will say Misfortune, you know, press R, win games, but that was a pretty big blunder. They should not have clumped the way they did. They should have respected the Misfortune or tried to immediately cancel it. And there wasn't really even an attempt to dodge it, really. And so now Team BBB has bought some time. Despite all these Baron buffs going over to Team WANOA, the execution is just not there. And although CJ Flash is definitely down in kills, he's going to be a monster himself, kind of working on the death stance of his own. And this Malphite is completely untouchable with the full armor build. The Frozen Heart's going to be a complete bane against this Twitch. As soon as he gets in range of that Frozen Heart, his DPS is going to be cut down by a good percentage. And Yone will continue to do this. This is their game plan. Despite having a very optimal teamfight composition from Team BBB, they realize that they can just continue to send CJ Flash to a side lane and get these turrets because they have so much ultimate value, they don't even need him there. If they can just land their AoE abilities, they can turn a 4 versus 5. And Rengar is pretty much making this Twitch non-factor in these games. The game plan for Team WANOA should be to get a lot of vision down and look to pick off the Rengar while he's looking for a flank by himself, because Rengar's not going front to back. He's going straight to the back, and he's looking for flanks. So if they have a decent ward where they're able to spot him out, and it's actually Twitch that gets the jump on him first, they can melt him. It is a full glass cannon build that's coming in here. And now, Yone engaging onto the Wukong, will land the Q3. Wukong forced the ultimate just to stay alive and will back away. The ultimate expended here by Honky. The rest of Team WANOA trying to slow down this push. And Dragon will spawn in a minute 10, and the Baron in a minute. Will WANOA focus down the Baron, or will they go for their soul? They should prioritize the soul here. Although Baron buff could be very scary with this Yone continuing to split push with his Hull Breaker, so we'll have to see. It looks like Yone was forced to flash. And a 3-man ultimate will land from Malphite, and the Misfortune ultimate will hit just about this Sev. However, Twitch was not able to make it out alive, and now it's a 1 versus 4. Will Rock and Roll be able to pull this? He is in the ultimate zone, but now it will end. And trying to buy what time he can. Wukong is here, but he does not have his ultimate just yet. And a heal forced out of the Misfortune. But on the other side, it looks like Unknown was actually win a 1 versus 1 against the Yone despite the Hull Breaker. So a huge win there. He does buy some time for his team. But with the jungler having to back off, he does have Guardian Angel actually. He having to back off, they're not going to be able to get the vision control for either of the objectives in time. Which one will Team BBBBB go for? It looks like it will be the Dragon. They don't want to give up this soul. A bit of taunting coming out from Big Palm here. And it's just going to be Unknown and Hanki. Are they going to go for the steal attempt, or are they going to go for a wombo combo with their ultimates? They should really just give this up. It's not soul point for the enemy. They really don't want to die for this. Wukong going in is going to look for the steal. They're completely split now, though. Unknown does land a 2-man ultimate and does get Bryson really, really low. A nice wind wall will block the double up. And the second ultimate from Hanki there. Nubadoom has arrived. It's trying to deal what damage he can, but it just takes him so long to take down the Malphite. And 1 kill will be answered for 1. However, the steal attempt did not work out. They do. Team BBBBB does secure the Dragon. And I'm not sure that was the call. It was pretty much a 2 versus 4 situation. Of course, the Yone wasn't there, but the Malphite was pretty much able to 2 versus 1 them if he wanted to. And it might have just been optimal to push out waves or go for Baron of their own. And now they're going to lose Dragon and Baron. Yone has already started up the Baron. They are on vision. But with Yasuo dead for another 18 seconds, are they going to just allow them to have it? This time around, it is going to come down to whether they can steal it or not. Hanki goes in. The smite is not there. Rengar able to secure it. And now the re-engage from CJ Flash. Twitch on the bottom side of the map gets immediately blown up by Misfortune. And now it's looking all but lost for Team WANOA. Hanki, GA will pop, but now 4 members of WANOA dead for 55 seconds. Yasuo the only one alive. TP in the bot lane by the Malphite. And just like that, just a few bad calls and a few bad plays, and WANOA just barely not able to close out their game. Yasuo knows it. And a nice comeback from Team BBBBB, and that will be the series 2-0 going in favor to them.